The following content may include sensitive material. Audience discretion is advised.
In the world of prostitution, my name is Mariana. I had a heartbreak that led me to fall into this life, and I've been in it for 30 years now.
What impacted you the most during this time?
I think it was seeing my colleagues die. I lost more than 20. When I arrived, I would ask, "Where is she?" They've already killed her. I'm not sure if I just got used to this life and decided to stay. I thought that going back there was how I would make money. Then soon another child arrived, then another. So I raised my children in prostitution, and that's how it was.
How many children do you have?
I have 3,
Are these children from different fathers?
all 3.
If you could describe your inner self, how are you inside?
It's a sad pain. It's sadness. But if someone was to see me smiling, they'd think everything is fine. Yet I'm always going back to the same path. I always said that I didn't want this anymore. Trying to stop and going back again. Trying and going back. It's awful. My son and I once stood at a bridge in Rio Negrinho in Santa Catarina, ready to throw ourselves off. Then I was hospitalized for 3 days. One time, I was stuck inside a motel room, unable to leave, and I crawled under a man's leg to escape and run off. Many times, I received threats on the street.
And why did you accept the invitation to be here today?
On the street, Saturday is the day we make the most money. A day to earn to do some shopping for the house. That's the day. Well, I came here instead.
So does that mean if you weren't here, you would be working the streets?
If I hadn't decided to come because of the invitation, perhaps I would be.
Hello, Mariana. Pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
Shall we talk a bit?
Of course.
Make yourself comfortable. Like yourself, I was also a sex worker. And I also came from an abusive relationship. Then I met someone who offered me an invitation saying, "Look, you could work as a prostitute abroad. In Europe, you earn a lot of money." So I decided. I said I would leave Brazil, but I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I ended up becoming a victim of human trafficking.
My goodness.
I ended up in the human trafficking mafia. When I arrived at that club in Europe, there was a debt that was impossible to pay off, and whoever couldn't work was mistreated. If you look at this photo, my smile isn't real.
Yes.
I suffered a lot. And the only way I could get through what I had to do there was to use drugs. I would arrive, shower, scrub myself, but it wouldn't come off. Because the dirt wasn't just on my body, it was also in my soul.
That's exactly how it is.
And one day, I met a man inside the club. A very wealthy and important man. And he decided to take me out of there. In that moment, Mariana, I was living the dream. I started to mingle with the Spanish high society, the best hotels, the best restaurants, but the relationship with him wasn't good either. Because I went from being a prostitute for many men to become the prostitute for only one. He didn't value me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't. I tried to fill the emptiness I had with things. I thought, when I have that designer outfit, When I make that trip, I'll be happy. But I wasn't happy.
None of it.
No, I wasn't happy. And the relationship didn't work out. Then I found myself alone again. I later had a relationship where I became pregnant, and he pressured me into having an abortion. It was a very difficult abortion, and I felt like a murderer for having killed a child. I cried a lot, was always sad, deeply sad.
That's what I've always done my whole life. Always going and returning. Going and returning on autopilot.
I was taking 14 pills a day to control the stress, the nervousness,
What did you feel in your soul?
the pain in the soul. A person with depression, anxiety, someone with an illness in the soul. There is no greater pain in the world than the pain in the soul. It eats you up from the inside. Then I began wanting to die, because the pain in the soul was so great that it wasn't exactly that I wanted to die, I just wanted the suffering to stop. So, the same medication I took to treat myself, I decided to take them all at once. Because of the depression and the suicide attempts, they decided to admit me to a psychiatric hospital.
How long did you stay?
I didn't stay that long. Even while using drugs, with treatments and everything I did, I became an influencer as well. I wanted people to know me. I remember, for example, taking part in a TV program. Everything in my life was fake.
Sí. Mira, me sienta genial. Es verdad.
And it was 30 years. 30 years of suffering.
Marilia, how did it all end? Was it happy or sad?
So, I'll tell you how my life changed. I had my mother's Bible, which she gave me as a gift, opened at Psalm 91. And in that moment, I remembered God. I read it and knelt down. I knelt down and said, "My God, I can't go on. I can't take this anymore. Now either you change my life or you'll have to take me." Then I remembered certain people in my life. I have a sister in the church who serves God. There's a couple who are assistants who cared for me. So I called the assistant and said, "Can you come and get me?" She came and took me to the church. I arrived at the altar. I knelt and I poured out my soul. It was just me and God. I surrendered everything at the altar, and I arrived just before the start of the campaign of Israel. I left everything on the altar. I did my campaign of Israel. Everything I'd set my heart on, everything that represented my past. I'm not talking about money or possessions. I'm talking about everything. It's you leaving your life. It was my decision. It came from within. It was all for all. I gave everything to receive everything new from God. I only asked for the salvation of my soul. When I arrived in Brazil, I returned with a small bag of documents and 3 pieces of clothing. I didn't want anything from the past, nothing at all. I brought nothing from my past. I returned to Brazil, to my mother's house. She was living on a small farm where there was no church. Nothing. However, I had the app, Univer, given to me by the assistant who helped me. She gave it to me as a gift. I didn't watch it often, but when I needed it the most, it was there. It was a Sunday morning service from the Temple of Solomon. I opened Univer on my phone with my mother. It was the Lord's Supper. I knew my life would truly change when I received the Holy Spirit. And there was the seeking of the Holy Spirit during the service. after taking part in the Lord's Supper. In that moment, I was baptized with the Holy Spirit. In that moment, I had peace. I had strength. In that moment, I changed. I had a strength inside me and a certainty that no one could.
Take away from you.
Exactly. My life began to work because I had direction from the Holy Spirit. There is nothing in this world, no money, no fame, nothing more important than having the Holy Spirit.
And what does it mean to depend on the Holy Spirit?
To depend on the Holy Spirit is to have God's direction in your life. You have certainty in what you will do and how to do it today, where you are, in your heart.
It's been 30 years that I've been in this life. I can't stop. I depend on it to live, to pay the bills.
And what if I told you there is another way?
Yes.
From that moment on, I began to depend on God for everything.
And I always thought sometimes I didn't understand that I had to depend entirely on God. I said to depend on God for everything.
Exactly. You need to stop trusting in prostitution. Stop trusting in your body or in money people give you. God can give you so much more. And in these 2 years, today I'm a real estate agent. I have a career. Today I'm doing very well, thank God.
It's been 2 years since you came back.
2 years and 5 months. God made everything new in my life, and I've lacked nothing. Mariana, I see myself in you. I see you as I once was. I see that your future is here, where I am. Let's make a vow, shall we?
Let's make a vow.
But the vow is with God, right now.
Yes.
That you won't go back to the streets.
All right.
You don't need to. God will guide you. The Holy Spirit will lead you. You won't go back to prostitution.
All right. I won't go back anymore.
What I have, I pass on to you.
And I receive.
The same strength that God gave me, I give to you.
That's right.
The secret is the altar. Leave all your anguish, all your suffering, your fears, your dependencies. Leave them on the altar.